I grew up in a time when people didn't believe in mental health, and you were seen as being weak for even mentioning the idea. The only option that I had was to endure the chaos and keep it pushing. You see, every day I experienced an overload of emotions from these intense and dysfunctional situations with no real way of knowing how to deal with it. And thinking back to when I was a kid, God was the only person that I was talking to or screaming at about this. And my life motto was Romans 8:28. And we know that all things God works for good for those who love him. And I remember promising myself as a kid that no matter what life threw at me, I would never let it change me. And I was going to always find something positive in every situation, no matter what was happening. Somewhere along the line, though, I got tired of fighting. I got tired of always getting knocked down, and I got tired of always being treated so unfairly. The excessive amount of chaos and traumas in my life had taken its toll, and I was completely over it. More importantly, I had broken my promise to myself. I had let the darkness change me, and I had completely given up on everything and everyone, including myself. But luckily, I got arrested. You see, I've been where you are, literally. Not too long ago, I too graduated from this program. And today, I would like to talk to you about some of my experiences and the tools that I learned that helped guide me into being the person I am today. So as I said before, I am literally hardwired to see the positives in every situation. So let me show you how I turned jail bars into a healthy way of living that helped release me from this mental prison I had put myself in that you too can use in your own life. So B, boundaries. This is a big one for me. One that I had never even heard of before this program, and also one that I owe several people in this courtroom an apology for. You see, I came in here pushing every boundary, testing everyone's patience and their intentions. But let me give you a little backstory. You see, right before I came to this program, I was arrested on Christmas Eve. I was extradited 1,000 miles away, and I missed Christmas, my daughter's birthday, and my son leaving for the Navy. I had lost all hope, and I was mad at the world. But then I got accepted into this program, and to be honest, in the beginning, I thought it was a joke. I thought, there's no way these people can understand me, let alone get me to think that they know what's best for me. And I can stand here today and tell you that I am beyond grateful that I was wrong. I was a complete train wreck when I met these people, or in Ann's words, a pain in the ass. But they never gave up on me. They called me out on my bullcrap, and if I was honest, they gave me a way to fix it. They do things differently here. They don't treat you like the bad guy. They treat you like a person that needs help. For example, normally when you mess up on probation, your PO will tell you, be at my office 8 a.m. sharp. You get there, they tell you stand up, turn around, hands behind your back. Off to jail you go. But they do things differently here. And this program, it created boundaries for me. And if I messed up, we met as a team. We discussed what happened, and they figured out how to help. And there were times that I needed to go to jail, but I couldn't see it. And I can honestly say that I am thankful for going to jail. I'm thankful that it was done in such a caring and informative way. I went to jail understanding, not mad at the courts, blaming the system. I went to jail with a plan, not more problems. And boundaries are the root of our self-care. And if we want other people to respect our boundaries, we have to respect theirs. A, accountability. I don't know if you're like me or not, but when I was in my graduation, I was thinking to myself, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this without having to be accountable to anyone? How am I going to do this without having drops? Or without having to come check in? Then I remembered that I learned having an accountability partner greatly increases your chances for success. The American Society of Training and Development for Entrepreneurs found that people are 65% more likely to meet a goal after committing to another person. And their chances of success increase to 95% when they work in ongoing meetings to check in on their progress. An accountability partner can be a positive family member, or a peer, or a mentor, or even an app. Just by simply explaining your goals to someone that you respect, you can have a powerful tool that will help you to stay on track and help avoid impulsive decisions. R, reach out. If I had to pinpoint one thing I learned, one change that I made that helped to completely turn my life around, it would be learning that it's okay to ask for help. I grew up not being allowed to cry. I grew up in a very hardcore environment to be a survivor. And I learned that if you asked for help, that meant that you were weak. My perspective was no one cared, no one could understand me, so how could they help me? But this program really changed my perspective on that. I started noticing things. These people were making eye contact with me when they talked to me. They remembered things that I had brought up weeks prior and even asked me about my progress. They noticed the smallest milestones. They had genuinely taken an interest in my life. I remember meeting with Ann and having a real conversation about my anger. And then going to court, and Judge Luber's asking, how can we help? And I remember telling myself, you can trust them. It was the first time that I had spoken up for myself and asked for help. And by allowing myself to be vulnerable, I was able to gain control over my anger, and that has helped me tremendously in my relationships. This program and these people showed me how successful we can be when we reach out. S, start. Neuroscience has found that our brains are wired to kill a thought if we don't act on it in 5 seconds. Think about that. 5 seconds. We have 5 seconds to make the right choice, to keep moving forward before the excuses win. But luckily, science has a hack for us. Mel Robbins teaches a 5-second rule, in which she says, any time that you notice yourself hesitating to do something that you know that you need to do, immediately count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then launch into action like a rocket. You see, counting backwards is the action that our minds need. if you try this, you will notice how quickly you start taking control of your mind. And think about the progress that you can make if you do this for an entire day or 2 days. You can start using this tool to create the life that you've always wanted. You know, I came into this program completely lost and broken. I had given up on everything. And these people showed me that it's okay to not be okay. They showed me that there are people who care and that it's okay to ask for help and it's the right thing to do if you need it. This program gave me healing and restoration as well as a second chance at life. And for the first time, I feel like I'm living and not just surviving. I hope that you have found these tools useful and you find a way to use them in your own life. You should be very proud of yourself. This was a very hard and demanding program, but you did it. You showed up for yourself and you completed something that completely redirected and pushed you to be the best version of yourself. Don't lose momentum and continue to show up for yourself every day, and you can create the life that you have always dreamed of. Take the bars that held you captive and turn them into a plan for success. Thank you.